I remember as a kid when I first hurt myself, and later I started thinking, it's like, why does it hurt so much? Like, I know I'm hurt. I don't need this to hurt this much. You can just kind of
Yeah, switch it off.
lower the intensity, please. Okay,
Yeah.
like it's like a notification. I don't need the phone to ring like
Yeah.
that loud.
Served the purpose to bring my
But
my attention to it.
this is a foolproof system though, because only by hurting so much will you know exactly with no failure that you are in danger, right?
Yeah.
This is the body's way of telling you, like, get
And that
the
you want to avoid it in future.
GTFO, whatever you have to do. This is the bad situation, right? And that negative imprint, you remember it a lot more than pleasure. So that, in fact, fear and aversion is one of the biggest factor that drives human behavior, right?
Hmm.
We're trying to get away from the pain, right? We understand it more than we understand pleasure, you know? So that's how I see it. It's like these two emotions or feelings or whatever, both desires and aversion is kind of just this baseline thing that we develop evolutionarily. So it's very easy to kind of be wrapped up in this because that's how we is how the system is designed, right? In this kind of crude caveman manner, like pleasure, pain, that's it. That's all you're working with, right? One is good, one is bad. So get more good, get less bad. That was the whole thing for you to ensure your survival, right? This is kind of how animals kind of operate, more or less. Like they are able to detect what's painful and what's not painful, and they're trying to avoid the painful, and but they're developing more and more perception systems. So like sometimes animals are very shrewd in terms of their detection. Like they can detect the predators before they even get to them. Right? That's how they escape because these are the evolutionary pressure to push you to kind of survive more and more. So that's how I see it. So meaning that it's very hard for us to escape this pain and pleasure cycle because that's how we are kind of evolved was what our psychology and base level kind of instincts are built in. So for a person to kind of go beyond that takes a lot of energy, self-awareness, and things that are not normal to let's just say the everyday survival kind of um a way of survival, you know. It goes kind of beyond that, right? So it takes a lot to kind of be self-aware and outside of that, because we feel as uncomfortable as we are with pain, we are kind of comfortable dealing with it in a way because that's just naturally how we deal with everything, right? Recognizing what's good, recognizing what's bad, and just
Hmm.
get more good and less bad. That's the operating system. But for you to kind of be able to judge that in a meta manner, you gotta go beyond just your own consciousness and just kind of like zoom out and project a sort of the bird's eye view of yourself, right? That's a
Yeah,
whole
so it's
nother.
almost we keep coming back to this meta-cognition skill as being the best thing because it's true in whichever system and kind of circumstance and dynamic you find yourself in, it would always benefit from this meta perspective because that perspective is always more accurate than the one beneath it because it evaluates the whole system with you in it and your behavior from a more objective standpoint of view than is just your direct experience because your direct experience is subjective and muddied by your role in that thing because for in your regular mode you're identified exactly with your essentially your role in an environment. You think you are, you know, your career or something, but that's not exactly the case because obviously you can abstract yourself from the situation and look at it and see like, oh, if I see it, then I'm not it. And then you can make more valuable and more rational adjustments to either your behavior or your plan or your values through that. So yeah, that skill still rules because it's kind of universal that way.